So I'm gonna be using the kitchen mixer to make everything faster. Otherwise, you'll be here for 3 hours. Okay. And I have my trusty iPad here with the recipe that is on my own website. I wrote this recipe once into the newspaper I used to work at, so that's cool. Let's see. I need the flour. How is your morning going so far, by the way, guys? So I need flour. I need sugar. That's here. I need sugar. I need oil. We have oil. We need to zest a lemon. And we need an egg. And I need some water that is still very warm. Gonna put it a bit in the window so it cools down. Okay. Well, Nomi, I would suggest you to eat some Kürtőskalács, but first of all, I don't know if you are allowed to eat it. Second of all, you are a bit far away, so I can't give you one. But it's okay. So we need 200 grams of flour. So this is our plain old flour. There's something. Come on. How was your week, guys? I had a pretty nice week. Finalized the story I've been working on, so one task done. 200 grams. That's exactly 200. Okay. Well, there will be 2 with cinnamon, 1 with vanilla, and 1 with walnut. So, and the walnut is my husband's. So you can have one of the cinnamon ones. Are you allergic to nuts? Okay. So we need sugar, 50 grams of sugar. I will still need this, so I will just put this to the side. This is completely a lactose-free recipe, by the way, which makes it amazing. Because I cannot eat any milk products. So for me, that's very important. Let me zero this. So we need 50 grams. Come on. Okay, that's 50. Okay, we don't need this sugar more. 50% sugar. We need to zest a lemon. So I already washed this lemon just to to make sure you guys know it. Because it's very important before you zest a lemon to actually do that, to make sure you're not zesting a chemical. I'm surprised Rita is not here yet. A little bit. But I'll put the recipe in the description of the YouTube video. I don't think anyone is cooking along with me, so that's okay. This is about half a lemon. Okay, and now I have to measure the yeast. So is that? This is for 500 grams of flour. So I need this for 200 grams of flour. Get it. Let me get a calculator. You need 4.5 grams. So about 5 grams of yeast. This is dry instant yeast I'm using. You could do this with fresh, of course, but I don't have fresh at home currently. I also don't want my water to be super cold. So this is still a bit warm. Come on. I'm putting it outside so it cools down a bit faster, but it's not really cooling down. Because if you use too hot water for the yeast, it will kill the bacteria in the yeast. So it's about half a pack. Well, God knows what I will do with this. So that is our yeast. So we have to mix the dry ingredients, the flour, the zest of the lemon, the yeast, and the sugar. We have done this. Then we have to add about half of the lukewarm water and the oil and an egg. I already have an egg cracked in here. I'm gonna be using olive oil for this. You can also use normal oil. The original recipe, I think, used olive oil. The one I used in the video, I saw in a video. So I will mix this a little bit. Just to make sure it's well combined. We'll put together this. I'll change the camera angle. So I'm gonna be using this because it's gonna be way faster if the machine does it than if I do. I sadly cannot bring the camera closer. That's a bit of an issue, but I think we'll be able to live with that. Okay. I have to plug you in. We will start with this and then I will finish it by hand. Just so you can also see some hand action. And while I'm waiting for the water to cool down a bit, I will put these away. I already have more flour because I'm gonna be baking tomorrow too. Some Sylvia. Come on, let's see. We kind of fit there. Let's see our water. It's not that bad. I think we can work with this. Maybe a little bit time in the fridge would help. Yeah, I boiled this water, like warmed it up half an hour ago to make sure it doesn't get too cold. Let's give it 2 more minutes before we use it. And then, so after it, what we will do is we start mixing it. We add half of the water, about guessing, depending on how much the dough will take. It depends on the type of flour and the amount of flour you are using. And of course the temperature of the water, the type of the yeast. So I will start adding it slowly and see how much it takes. The dough has to be a bit sticky. Then after the yeast is mixed well with the water, I'm gonna add the egg, and I have to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Try a tablespoon here. I'll put the egg there too. And after the dough is kind of well mixed, I will take it out of the machine because I'm not fully confident with how the machine does it. So I'm gonna prepare some stuff also to be able to do this on this surface. I don't need this right now. While that minute is going, I'll actually clean the table a little bit here. So I can put something here that I use to knead the dough. I hope I'm not breaking anything. Usually I do this on that table, but that would be a bit too far for you guys to see. I will drink this lemon later. So I have something from my grandfather that he made or got made, which looks like this. So this is the surface I'm gonna be using. I think I will move this too. We don't need cleaning products here right now. That's why we have this. So it kind of fits. It moves a little bit. I never know which side is the side I'm supposed to use, to be honest. Both of them move a bit. Use this side. So that's okay. The water is good now, so I'm gonna start mixing. I add about half of it. I'm sorry if this is too loud. I'll go a bit further. So this is gonna be the surface I'm using. And I'll sprinkle some flour down. I already took off my rings to make sure it doesn't get into anything. Okay, so tablespoon of oil. That's okay. So I think it's mixing. You can see it kind of move around. I think I might have added too much flour, too much water. It's not an issue. We have extra. If I mess it up, I'll make a new portion. So we have enough sugar, yeast, and stuff. Because there's a possibility I add this up. I think I might have added too much. So this is a trial and error process, which is all fine. So if yeah, I added too much water. So I'm restarting this. Thank you for the follow. Túl sok vizet adtam hozzá, úgyhogy ezt most újra kezdjük. De ezzel nincsen semmi baj. Ez nem egy, a keltészták nem egyszerűek. Úgyhogy megpróbáljuk úgy, hogy nem a gépet használom. Ezért van itthon rengeteg hozzávaló. Akkor 200. Gram liszt. Meggyúrjuk készen. Okay. So this is we will do the old technique of without the machine to see if that helps. I'll get another egg. We need a lemon. Now we know what to use the second half of the yeast. So, sugar. I think the last time I kind of did the same thing. I messed up the ratio. And I ended up doing exactly the same thing. But that's okay. I need to zest the lemon. And I do have like 6 lemons at home because I drink every day a full lemon. So that's okay. Worst case, I will drink 2 lemons today if it's needed. cooking is not easy, by the way. And these kind of yeasty doughs are very hard to get the temperature right, and sometimes the amount of stuff you need to do right. I need 50 grams of sugar. It's a bit more. That's about 50. Okay. And I need to add, and I do have like, we bought in the beginning of lockdown, we bought about 30 instant yeast because they are good for a couple of years. So I do have plenty of yeast too. So we will not run out of ingredients. We will eventually have some. Okay. I need the oil to be red. Where did I put the oil? I put it there. Okay. So I will mix this a little bit. I make a well. Sometimes analog stuff is better than doing this with a machine, to be honest. No? It's the same thing when you make pizza dough. You kind of do it the same way. You start adding a little bit of water and then take it away slowly. And eventually you have something that looks like a dough. So what are you guys eating today? Because I'm trying to eat this, but so far it's not there yet. And you'll probably have some pho. Later. It's getting into a dough now, as you can see. There is something. So what I messed up, what you should not do when you rewatch this on YouTube, is adding too much water at the same time, which is definitely not the way to go. I don't know how many people here are actually bakers, or not by profession, but at home. I know my sister is. Okay, a little more. Ah, nice. I like the top of the Francia cremesh, like the caramel thing. I'm not into creamy stuff, so I don't like the cream. But I always try to steal. My father and my sister love Francia cremesh, and my father sometimes go to confectionery, whatever cukrászda is in English. So they sometimes go there. I did forget to turn on the oven. Now, who forgot to add the egg? It wasn't me. Eventually we'll get something right out of this. We will have something. In 1 hour, sometimes it's 2 hours, and I need more flour. Uh, Worst case, we restart this too. That's okay. I mean, we are on the internet. Who is going to blame us for doing something wrong, right? It is sticky, so that's actually good. I don't like that. This is what I wanted to avoid, is having my hand this sticky. Because that is actually... I cannot touch anything right now. Yeah, this is already the second batch, and I'm kind of expecting to soon start the third one. Because it's not the... I'm not that great. I have made this like four times, and usually I have to make 2 batches. So now I have to open that. Whatever. I'll clean it later. Can it get really worse? Oh, yeah. Thanks, Gabor. So anything you do with yeast, I think is one of the harder parts of actually baking. So we will see if we get something edible out of this. We have a dough, that's actually something. And don't forget that this doesn't look like a lot. It will hopefully rise, first of all. Second of all, whatever means baking is very, very thin. So we can actually make multiple long snakes out of this, snake doughs, dough snakes. Yeah, it looks like a dough. That looks like something we are supposed to have, so that's actually good. I think this is gonna be good. I have to clean myself. Oh my god. Look at that. This is why I didn't want it to do this by hand, but this happens when you mess up the first portion that goes into the machine. I will have to scrub this off my hand so I can touch stuff again. We have a dough though. This is kind of okay. I'll have to wash it like 5 more times. Okay. I need a metal. So what I usually do is I put things into the oven on the lowest temperature. I'll sprinkle some on the bottom so it doesn't stick. You go in there, sprinkle a bit on the top, and I put this into the oven on the lowest temperature. Put a cloth. This is an electric oven, it's not a gas, so I don't mind putting a cloth on it. The flour is there so it doesn't stick, hopefully, at the end. And now we just wait. We will check it in half an hour to see how well it has risen. So that's a good start. We have my camera is covered in flour. That's all I'm saying. This covered in flour. I will clean this surface now, and then we're gonna prepare the way we're gonna make this, and I'm also gonna get rid of the failure I did earlier. So cleaning up is always an important part of doing anything in the kitchen. So bear with me while I do that. In the meantime, feel free to ask some things. I don't know, Q&A or something, or just get the chat going. Get this out of here. Okay. This is hand wash, sadly. I don't like when I have to hand wash stuff. So Gabor, you have finished already Cuphead? I'm gonna just clean this. So I usually scrape off the extra that will go into the trash. Because this will be worse later when it's more stuck to it. I'm not gonna wash it fully yet. I'll just scrape off the excess because you still need this. And I use this and into the trash. So. Yeah, and are you planning to stream it or broadcast it or whatever so I can watch you do whatever the final boss was on its own? I'm gonna do the dishes. I guess it's not that loud, maybe. I really have to get this washed, otherwise it's gonna be way worse later. So just to get it over with, I will do this fast. I'm already sorry about the extra noise, but if the dough gets stuck on it, it's actually gonna be worse. Otherwise, I will have way more time. These cannot go into the dishwasher, which is a pain, but that's okay, especially if you mess it up, like I did. But I think if we are, Nomi mentioned that we could do some pizza maybe in one of the upcoming challenges. That will be the whole, the same thing all over again, the possible disaster of me effing up. But that's what makes this stream fun, right? So you can see me not only nail something, I think I kind of nailed it first, but it was very yummy. It went kind of well. This was a bit different result, but that's okay. Okay, by something you mean like okay, so what do you need to get A rank? Okay. Need to not get hit. Get the mission done faster than 2 minutes. Parry 3 times. Get 6 super. The supercharge is the card at the bottom, right? That's what I saw in your stream. Didn't you finish the final boss without getting hit? Was that your first try or was just by accident after failing many times? Because that was insane. Uh, okay, so you have to use it. Ah, okay. I thought because it's called King, that it's the king that you have to beat, but then not. Okay, we will need oil still. I'll clean the bottle too, because, well, I touched it with my dirty hands, so clean this. That's okay. So now comes the waiting game, because I'm spending time now with cleaning. We are 7 minutes into waiting. The dough usually has to rest an hour, but I'm gonna check it after half an hour to see how it is. Ah, okay. See ya, Anya. Yeah, this is why it's good if there are multiple people in a household, so if your hand is sticky, they can help you out, but Lars is currently not at home, so at least he doesn't see the disaster I'm making sometimes, but that's okay. I'm not a just disclaimer, I'm not a professional baker, so I do tend to F up something, I do make stuff that's sometimes not good, uh, but you know, even my grandmother messes up things sometimes. She once made a pogacha from potatoes, but she forgot to add the potatoes to it, and it was already in the oven when she realized, oh, there are no potatoes in it. So it happens to everyone. Nobody is perfect. It's a human thing to not be perfect. So, but hey, guys, and it's gonna be more streaming. It's 10:20 now. That's even not that bad. Uh, And it's still not. I still have to prepare what we will use to roll the things. So that's still something I have to do. Kind of nowish. Yeah, it's part of the journey. Well, Nomi, you said you wanted to learn more about baking and in general. Yeah. Most of the recipes with yeast, usually either you have to have it raised cold, so you put it like, if you make bagel, uh, you put in the yeast, you put in everything cold, and you put it to rest in the fridge. Then you put it into the, you roll it, you fill it, you roll it up, and it will actually start really activating when you put it into the oven. So that's also a method. Another method is that you use the yeast in usually hot sugar milk to get it flowing. It rises up, and then you add it to the dough. That's way easier than when you mix the instant yeast with everything that's already there, and then you start adding water or milk to it. I think that's a bit harder. So this is definitely not the easiest recipe. for my taste. But I remember when I don't know if my sister is still here, when I didn't really know anything. I was still very young, didn't really know anything about cooking, and she made me knead the dough for darásfészek, which is the. I don't think I will ever make that. It's so much work, and because your hand is sticky, you cannot even really hand it over. That's the thing. Like, you are all messy, and many doughs you have to knead it until it kind of goes away from your hand, if you know what I mean. So it's not sticking everywhere anymore, but that can be a half an hour work. Uh, which is why having a machine like what we bought, this is our second machine. We had one for a couple of years that died just when lockdown started last year. We didn't really bake anything for many, many months because of that. So, and because we are not that much of a cake people, or we don't eat much sweets in general. I'm very excited to look in 18 minutes in the oven to see how it is looking. I usually can have like a warm environment. I sometimes put it on the heater, uh, but the oven is nearby, so that's good. Okay. So let's prepare. Yes, and then you have to learn all of these methods. Well, all depending on, of course, what you want to make. But if you want to try a lot of different stuff, you will have to try and error. That's all it is. So if one thing big difference for me between cooking and baking is that cooking you can experiment with the ratios. Baking is not really. So you have to learn that if it says 500 grams of this, you should use 500 grams of that. Or when they say, yeah, you use one egg and you use as many flour as it takes. And you have to like know, okay, now did I use enough flour? Did I not use? That's the same thing when you make gnocchi. You cannot really easily measure the ratios. Kind of like, okay, so this egg was this big. I used 50 grams of flour. I just said a random number now. That kind of works with it. But sometimes, if you get a different type of flour, you will have to use different ratios. The same thing goes with sugar. If you use brown sugar, your dough will be more like that squishy American cookie dough feeling. If you use white sugar, it will be more of a firmer dough. With my experience, it also depends on the temperature. If you use butter, is it a butter you just took out of the fridge? Is it a butter that is softened enough when your counter is not super cold? Is it melted butter? You can do the same recipe with different. You can use cold egg in one and a room temperature egg in the another, and the result will be different. But you have to bake a lot to know this, or educate yourself a lot. I do watch Cupcake Gemma's recipe, and she made a video over muffins or cupcakes, and like the difference of these ratios, how it will end up. That's why if you usually bake, you should try to use everything lukewarm. So if you need an egg, take it out early. That's also why I prepare the first egg like an hour earlier, so it's not cold. So these are all things you should experiment, research. And yeah, sometimes it ends up as a failure. Sometimes it falls apart, but the cake is still delicious. That doesn't mean you can't eat it just because it's a bowl of crumbles. I would still eat it. So I have some of these bookmarked. I will drop it in the Discord later, so you guys can also read about it, see them. But I'm sure my sister could say more about this. She bakes at least twice a week. Évi hetente hányszor szoktál sütni? Egy, kettő, vagy néha többször is, nem? Legalábbis azok alapján, amiket mesélsz. In the meantime, I'm gonna make myself a lemonade because I'm talking a lot and I'm not drinking anything. So let me move stuff around a bit. So I like to roll my lemon out so it will be easier to actually squeeze it. This is going into my drink. This is not going into my Kürtőskalács. Don't worry about that. Azt kérdeztem, hogy hetente hányszor szoktál sütni? Mert neked ugye sokkal több tapasztalatod van a sütésben, mint nekem. Úgyhogy te valószínűleg kevesebbszer rontasz el dolgokat, mint én. Az előbb arról beszéltem, hogy nem mindegy, milyen hőmérsékleti hozzávalókat használsz. Az sem mindegy, hogy például milyen cukrot. Mert a barna cukor más tésztát eredményez, mint a fehér cukor. Ilyenekről beszélem. Hetente egyszer, oké. És elfogyott már a bacones Szilvia? Yeah. So the stuff I'm gonna be baking tomorrow, it's gonna be Sylvia. My sister sent me the recipe. It's something my grandma used to make for us, mostly for me. You basically have 3 layers, 3 dough, and between the first 2 there's a chocolate cream. The second 2 there is vanilla cream. I can actually show you a picture. And on the top we have a chocolate covering. Can I like zoom into this? So it looks, can you zoom? Kinda like that, it doesn't zoom. It's very delicious though. Why do you not zoom? Please, camera. No. Anyway, you can kind of see it. And this needs fat to bake it. And my sister used the bacon fat to use it up, and it did stay reflected in the dough a bit, which was funny, but they still ate it. It was still good, so. Évi, vettem zsírt egyébként. I did manage to buy some fat here too. I usually don't use much fat, but it's better for the dough because it's fresh for longer. Put this. Ez kacsazsír. Ez volt az egyetlen a boltban. 320 g, úgyhogy szerintem ezt életem végéig használni fogom. So I bought this because I want to bake something tomorrow that needs fat. And this was the single portion of fat in the shop. There was nothing else. This was the last one. So this will be enough for the rest of my life. Probably. So, and I like to squeeze my lemons in here. So that's 1/2. Yeah. Remélem, Évi, nem volt semmilyen más zsír, és ebből is ez az egy darab volt, és ez a kiszerelés. Úgyhogy gondoltam, inkább megpróbálom zsírral, hogy mi nem vagyok benne biztos, hogy 2,5 nap alatt meg fogjuk enni az egész tepsi süteményt. Okay, so I have 1 lemon in here. There is already a lot of water. I'm gonna add a bit more. This is about 1 liter of water with 1 full lemon. So that's what I like to drink every day. I try to drink 2 of these, but only one has usually lemon in it, just to get some extra C vitamin, basically. And now I'm gonna be fancy and I'm gonna put some drops in it. I have some my protein drops. They are sugar free, and I feel like having some raspberry today, so I'm just gonna add that. So it's gonna taste like a raspberry syrup, except this is sugar free. 5 drops into a liter of water is actually enough. We have a couple of these we like to mix in every now and then. Szóval ez egy ilyen cukormentes málna oldalt körülbelül, amivel 5 cseppet szoktam használni 1 liter vízhez, és akkor egy ilyen nagyon enyhe málna szörpös ízt ad, ami a citrommal nagyon jól megy együtt. Yeah, Gábor, I will try to make sure I do drink with a straw, so that can be an issue. So we have 8 minutes left of the first rising of the dough, at least the first half an hour. We will probably wait for the full half an hour. So I think it's time for me to actually prepare what we'll do, but let's keep the chat going because we still have to wait. I think we'll have to wait the other half an hour. That's how my gut feeling is. So for people who have seen Kürtőskalács making before, this is not how you usually make it. Because you usually, let me try to find the picture. Yeah. So you usually have something like this. This is coal, like real fire, and they have these rolled up. That's all the Kürtőskalács, and they are constantly turning these. So that's the usual way of doing it. You can see that man kind of doing there. Can you like not focus on? I'm sorry, this webcam is not very good, but that's how they usually make it. But I don't know about you guys. I don't have a machine like this. So I'm using a cheaper method with some beer cans. That's why we have 4 beer cans here. In Belgium, actually, canned beer is very rare. They are almost always in bottles because it's better for the beer, whatever. So I like to have, we have actually 4 of these that we are keeping and storing because every 3 years I bake Kürtőskalács and then I use these. So these we're all drank by my husband who likes beer. I don't. I think they are from like 2010. No, not 2010, sorry. 2016, 17. So I made him drink 4 of these. Because the other way you can get these beer cans, here in Belgium at least, is to drink Monster or energy drinks, but none of us likes energy drinks, and I didn't want to buy energy drinks that we would just pour out into the sink because we hate it, just for this. So I was lucky enough that Leffe actually had these. This is not sponsored, but this was the only beer can that was half a liter, and we could buy it in this form instead of the bottles. So what we'll be doing, we will be covering each of these. I already washed them yesterday. I will cover them in alufolie, aluminium foil, and then I'm gonna use olive oil to put it on top of the alufolie so the dough won't stick to it. And basically we'll separate the dough into 4. Hopefully it will end up being 4. Maybe they won't be as big. And I will roll them in And I will put them flat like this into the oven, because if I put them like this, they will flatten down and fall down. And I want them to be nicer, so I'm gonna be rolling them like this. And later it will be easier to take them off if they have some olive oil or some kind of grease under it, so they don't stick to the dough. So we have 4 minutes. So I excuse for the sound. Let's see. Is this enough? It doesn't have to be perfect. I think maybe it's a bit long, but okay. It just has to kind of keep a form, so it doesn't have to be fully perfect. And it's gonna lay flat, so it doesn't matter if I have this knot at the end. Hello, hello. So I will still do the other 3, so excuse for this. So this is just like wrapping presents for Christmas. I definitely could use still smaller one. Okay. Let's see. I'm getting better at guessing the size. And of course, make sure they are empty. So if you put this with a full beer unopened, that will blow up. So that's why I'm using empty beer cans. That's very important to point out in case you guys would put in enclosed beer into the oven. That's not something you should ever do. Okay, I'm also using oven-proof aluminium foil. I don't think that matters, but that's what we have, because sometimes we like to put stuff covered in this into the oven, like when we make meat. How are you doing, Ollie? Welcome to the stream. We are waiting for the dough to rise. There is 1 minute left of the first half an hour, and there's probably gonna be another half an hour. You might have to wait. We're gonna look at it now to see how it is. If I made a disaster and I have to restart again or not. So, yeah, then I still have to prepare what we're gonna roll it in. So I will prepare some olive oil. I'm gonna be using also to brush it over this. And also, if I recall, I have to brush it over the dough too. Let me check. Yeah, so we put on the dough, we put a little bit of oil, and we use that oil and roll it in sugar. That's gonna be the coating. And when you put this into the oven, they're gonna have this nice coating on them. That will brown. And the other thing, because usually these have to be turning, every 2 minutes I'm gonna be looking into the oven, turning them a bit to make sure every side browns enough. Now let's look at the dough. Has risen a little bit. It definitely needs more time, I think. So let's see. Check in about 15 minutes. We'll be waiting for this full half an hour, another full half an hour. This is, yeah, the disadvantage of having to check, having to making dough with yeast in it. So I'm sorry about that. You guys will still have to bear with me another half an hour waiting. So if you have any topics, any questions, anything regarding anything, please let me know. I will slowly prepare the stuff here. So I'm gonna be making one with, I think, vanilla sugar. I'll be making one with walnuts. That's what my husband asked for. He wanted walnuts. So he's getting walnuts. And I'm gonna be making two with cinnamon because that's our favorite. So I will need probably actually I think I can use 3 smaller plates to do this. Like that. I also have to put something here. I'm gonna be using parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the pan. So I'll also have to prepare that. I'll need this now. And it's only in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes, so it's actually not that bad at 180, so that's quite decent. All right, so I need one with, we have some walnuts here, I think, come on. Ugh. Should be enough. I'm gonna be using brown sugar because that has a bit nicer taste when it caramelizes, for me at least. So I'm gonna be just mixing this brown sugar. This is gonna be the cinnamon that needs to cover too. So let's add this. And just mix it a bit. This is enough sugary. That'll be nice. Okay, so this is what Nomi won't eat. Hey, hello, szia Emese. Jó, köszönöm is te. Because this is walnut. Nomi, the other two is for you. Then, good morning, Rita. You missed the disaster of the first portion of whatever ended up made. So we're gonna be two with a cinnamon. You can also use powdered sugar. I added too much water too fast to the first portion of the dough, and it ended up being a soup. Uh, but that's okay, because you never know how much you exactly need. Because God knows what the original recipe, what kind of flour it used and stuff, so that's alright. I'm just mixing. Let's check. It is nice. The last one is just gonna be vanilla sugar. Which I have one here. Bit of brown sugar. This is paper. Let's go to the paper trash. So I just showed you that there's everything okay that you fail at something while the internet is watching. It still goes on YouTube. I don't care. This is not an easy thing to make. Anything with yeast is not easy to make. And it takes a lot of time to wait. Currently we are waiting for the dough to rise. We still have 20 minutes to go. Or 25. It has to rise for about an hour. I put it in the oven already at the lower temperature, so it will take a bit, maybe less time. Okay, that's good. I already wrapped the beer cans. Did I try this? Gonna be nice. Okay, that's good. I will never use this up. Oh my god. Okay. So the only thing I can still prepare is the oil. I'm not gonna put the oil right away on this because we are still waiting for the dough. I want to do that before we put the dough on it. We still need. I'll try to make 4 good sized. I wanna eyeball it. Doesn't really matter. I think that they are equally the same size, so I'm not gonna measure them out. Because like if you make bagley and you make a portion of filling for X amount of grams of dough, then you have to make sure you actually have X amount of grams of dough. Here it doesn't really matter. So I will just eyeball that, and I need a container for oil and a brush. So the oil is only for coating. I put a little bit here. Keep the surface as clean as possible. And I need the brush. I'm not too happy with this brush, but yeah, it was cheap. So I have this fella. So that's gonna go in the oil. And now we are waiting for another 20. I already prepared. I still can prepare the parchment paper. That I can still do. So I'm still gonna do that. I think I'll put my iPad here to check the recipe. I have moving cables around so I don't get oil on the charger. Yeah, the laptop doesn't work without being plugged in, so that is kind of bad, but yeah. Whatever. What kind of brownies? Well, yes and no, Zuindan. Because you could, like, usually while you wait an hour for something, you don't stand in the kitchen waiting an hour. I would go play something and then look back in an hour. So it's actually not that bad. It's just to prevent them from sticking to the pan and the soil. I don't have to clean that much. Ah, okay. The brownie recipe I make is from beans, and I really like it. Let me adjust the camera a bit more so you can actually see me. Maybe I could put it a bit higher up so it would be in a better angle. Like that. And now you're just waiting. So, how is everyone's day? Oh, nice, Rita. Yeah, I looked for something that doesn't have any milk in it. And when I was looking, Tom Daly just posted that video, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. Uh, and it's actually pretty good, I think. I really like it. It doesn't take a lot, like 10 minutes to make the whole thing. You can make it in a blender, and it's pretty nice. But I'm waiting for some picture of your brownie to see how is yours. Uh, I hope you won't have a very bad day with a headache. I know how it feels to wake up with a headache. I have some issues with my neck sometimes, so I have to make sure my pillow is in a good position and I'm laying on my back. Otherwise, for the next 2 days, I'm just having a full headache day, and doesn't matter what I do. This is also why I like to walk around a lot, uh, stand up straight, keep my posture good, so because that's the kind of headache. You can take any pills, it won't go away because it's from neck problems. So it's great. Ooh, I like that soup and the chicken. Can I go over? Will you give me a portion too, please? Is Tarkony? No, that saffron is no. That's saffron. That's different. Igen, Évivel ketten átmennénk ebédre. Évi, nálad mi lesz az ebéd? Ah, tarragon. Thank you, Gábor. Thank you. So Rita is making tarragon soup. So how do you make the huli chicken? Like the only chicken I made with pineapple was just chicken breast with pineapples on top and cheese. My mom also does the same thing with peaches. We really like it. Uh, but I don't know the exact recipe for huli chicken, but anything with pineapple, please shove it my way. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. If we ever make pizza on this channel, I'm making a Hawaii pizza because that's the only pizza I like. So we'll definitely get some hate over that because I know a lot of people don't like that. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think I know what I will eat tomorrow then. That sounds so good. We don't have an idea of what. Usually, my husband cooks over the weekend, and I cook during the week, and we don't have an idea what to eat. We wanted to make pho, uh, But then today he had to go out for some family stuff. So we will probably pick up. There's a very good Vietnamese restaurant here in the city, and we'll probably take away. At least we support them. So I don't dislike non-Hawaii pizza. I usually don't like salami on pizza. It's just too greasy. That's another thing. If you say pepperoni, for people on the east, it means pepperoni paprika. For people on the west, it means pepperoni the salami, the spicy salami. So that's also like so weird. And I think pepperoni is a kind of paprika in Italy. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I recall. But yeah, I don't like salami and sausage on pizza because it, for me, makes it too greasy. I prefer barbecue or tomato-based uh, bottom sauce. I don't like feta cheese, so that's my biggest issue with the Greek variants. And I also can't digest it, so that doesn't help it either. Uh, my go-to, oh yeah, Rita, I would love that. What do you mean, Nomi? What do you mean, finally, someone? Uh, Recently, I realized I like mincemeat on pizza. I I like fruits. I found once, like here in random kebab places, they also make pizza like, okay, yeah. Welcome to the Don't Like Feta Cheese Club. Here, if you go for a kebab place, they like do everything. You can get pasta there, you can get pizza there, you can get kebab, which is like the bad gyros for my taste. And then you choose whatever sauce you like. Like in Hungary, when you get gyros, you get you get a simple like yogurt-based sauce or tzatziki-based sauce, I think, and you can get spicy. Here, you choose what sauce they put in with your meat. God knows what's in that. Uh, so I usually go with ketchup, and then they put the veggies in, and you can even all ask fries on it. That sounds good, Rita. I would skip the jalapeno because I don't like spicy, but that actually sounds something I think I would enjoy. Yeah, I do like blue cheese. I think it's just disgusting. Like I made a burger uh, yesterday and the day before, and I put a slice of blue cheese on it, and I made blueberry sauce, like oniony vinegar blueberry sauce that goes very well with it. And I bought Roquefort cheese, and I like the taste of blue cheese, but the look is so disgusting. So I it's better if I order it in a restaurant. I really like burgers with blue cheese and onion jam. As long as I don't look, don't I cannot see how the blue cheese looks like because that just scares me. To be honest, it's very much scares me. Uh, Especially when the cheese melts it and all you see is the mold floating in middle of the sauce. And how do you know if a blue cheese gets rotten? It just looks the same. Probably not. I don't know. I didn't. I don't want to Google rotten blue cheese. That's something I don't want to see. Anyway, uh, my usual go-to pizza is okay. Okay, Rita is either homemade tomato sauce or barbecue sauce. I like that. Uh, then ham. I usually use vegan cheese because I cannot digest normal cheese without a lot of pills, and I try to not take many pills. Or I don't. That's also an option that I don't put any cheese on it. Ham, mushrooms, and ananas, pineapple. That's my usual go-to. I also don't eat any seafood, so seafood pizza is not an option for me. I heard about dessert pizzas where they put chocolate and stuff on it. I didn't dare to try that. Lemon seed, Gabor. I didn't swallow it. I'm still alive. Okay. Take this. Not even. They fit okay. Kind of. Just about. Probably this one is better. We'll figure it out. So yeah. But I know a lot of people dislike it. I also like Domino's, they make a pizza where they put honey on it. I tried it. It was okay. Uh, I also found a kebab place where they made a pizza. Wait, I think I might even have the paper. I used to have these papers. Yeah. So it was a very weird combination. Let me find it. Yeah, pizza tropicana is tomato sauce, cheese, minced meat, peach, pineapple, paprika, and coconut. Like they sprinkled coconut on top. I tried it. It was decent. Not something I would like eat every time, but I know here it's also not common to eat meat with cheese. So they have a lot of sandwich places. It's kind of like a mix of like a bakery. They make their own bread often, or they just buy baguette they bake, and they make the sandwiches for you. It's cheaper than Subway, probably better quality too. But it's still, I mean, you pay €5 for a sandwich that you can make with probably half the price at home. So anyway, and they have sandwiches where you have meat and ananas, pineapple, or meat and peach, or tuna and peach and stuff. But they never have meat. Like I'm not thinking about ham, like actually a piece of chicken breast or something with cheese. Like when I asked that to give an extra cheese in it or something in it, they look weird at me. But one time, the lady I asked for a sandwich, and the lady asked if I want vegetables in it. I said yes, and she put eggs in it. So for you guys that didn't know, egg is a vegetable here in Flanders, it seems. But the same thing when I went to Magic Burger once, which I think doesn't exist anymore, and it's one of my favorite burger places. I think they closed last year. I'm not sure. Which is a type of place you go and you tell, okay, I want a medium or a big portion of this meat, and then basically you could choose 100 grams of chicken breast or 100 grams of beef patty or whatever. So you choose the size, you choose the burger bun or a salad you want it in, and you choose a topping. And you pay for the topping per topping. So if you want 5 toppings, you pay 5 times, I don't know, 200 forints. I'm just guessing prices here. I don't remember. Or if you only want 2 toppings, then you get less. And they also have, like, by default, they have tomato and salad in it in the burgers. And when I became lactose intolerant a couple of years ago, I went there and I asked what's in the homemade burger sauce, if I can And I said, don't tell me the recipe, just tell me if there is milk products in it. And the cashier looked at me and said, yes, there is eggs in it. And I was like, okay, that's good because that's not milk. Thank you. Then I will take a burger. So you can get funny / weird experiences, I think, in these places. So, okay. The dough is almost ready. So I have to do this 180. We have 3 minutes left. So we had to wait an hour, but it's actually went away. Yeah, but I asked, is there milk products in it? Like in Hungarian, the question was, van benne tejtermék? And not, is it vegan? So, hey Ranek, good morning, jó reggelt. So yeah, it was funny, but anything I ate there was always delicious. So I really liked that place. And the weirdest burger I used to eat in Manga Cowboy, which is also one of my favorite restaurants, they had a burger that had a slice of beetroot and ananas in it, and it was so delicious. A Manga Cowboyban volt egy burger, olyan 6 évvel ezelőtt, ben volt egy szelet cékla, és egy szelet ananász. Isteni volt. But yeah, since I moved away from Hungary, I have not really been back to many of these restaurants. I think I have been back once to Manga Cowboy. I used to work in it's in the Radai street, and I used to work in that street when I was a student. And they had a good menu for like 1,000 or 1,500 forints, and you get 2 or 3 meals plus a drink, and they have options, and that was good for student price. So I really like that. It has risen. It has risen. Yeah, I actually prefer. Look at this cupcake gemas. This is my favorite. So now I put the oven on 180. Yeah, they had a paper saying that what they make is by default, if you don't specify it, is medium. So we have some kind of dough. It is about doubled. You guys can see it. Okay, so I need to reorganize stuff here. It's not that hot. It was about the lowest settings on my oven is 50. It doesn't go to 50, so I'll put the sugars a bit aside for now. I'm just thinking of how to do this. Probably this will be the better because the moment my hand gets sticky, I won't be able to move the camera around. So okay, I will sprinkle. Okay. It's nice and fluffy now. So it's a bit too much need too much flour. So I have to eyeball this. Let's roll it into kind of a good shape. Hello, Rita. So this is about 15 centimeter. So I could that's about it. Yeah, this has a metering on it, so it actually tells me how much centimeters or how thick something is, which is pretty nice. And it has inch and centimeter too. So, they're not gonna be very tall, I think. I'll probably still rise a bit. I think as long as they are delicious, that's enough. So, I should put some oil on this. And I will try to so you flatten it out. These are gonna be small ones. Actually, we don't need a lot, so that's okay. Excuse me for the sound. But as you can see, it flattened out. These are gonna be mini ones. I could go. Okay. So I put olive oil under it. Szia, Sógi! Megkeresem neked majd, hogy hívják. És akkor megmondom utólag. Azt hiszem Amazonon vettem, de valószínűleg Alin is fogsz találni. Come on. So the first one is gonna be with the walnut. Just put this here. Évi már mondta, hogy ez jól hangzik, ő is szeretne egyet? Let's see. So it's not a big issue if it's like too thick or something. The moment you wrap it around and you roll it over, it's gonna flatten out. So that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So the oil is just to make sure it doesn't stick to the surface, so it will be easier to take it down. And to make sure it actually stays there, you can like tuck it under another part, so you kind of roll it into together. It has this amazing sound. This one could be the cinnamon. Cinnamon is the favorite in this household. So you put a bit of, oh, you don't need much on the outside. That's just enough so the sugar can stick on it. Oh my god, my hands are so dirty from the flour and the thing. And you can roll it. I'm gonna sprinkle because I have to roll too. Get the excess down. So we have our second one. Just gonna put it here. Okay, now I'm full of sugar and I'm full of oil, so that's great. So we're gonna have a smaller one and a bigger one again. I think I will make the bigger one another. Well, I could probably maybe try to even these out. How big is this? It's about the same. No, no, it's about the same. So. It's definitely not the best dough I ever made, but it's actually quite decent. Like these little snails. My collage dough is usually better. Okay. Oil. Yeah, it's just the two of us, so but they are not that big. It's actually not bad, so we don't eat the same dessert for 15 days in a row, like what we did with a bagley. So when I'm putting it on, I actually leave a bit of space here because I will flatten it out and then I will adjust the spaces. Because the dough you put on it is not flat. So when I do this, there's a fruit fly here. Let's try to make it a little bit better. Excuse me for all these noises from the beacon. So now it's evened out a bit. I'm gonna put it a bit together. Then I put oil. That's definitely a bit too much oil, so I'm just gonna spread it all over with this. This just helps the stuff to stuck to it, and it will brown nicely. Now that we have one fully, I will actually roll it. Yeah, this is not a flat plate, so it doesn't fully reach everything. Can still use a bit more there. Okay. Another one down. And I think I will still do the last one. I actually don't need this anymore. That. Now I'm very oily. Oh god. And then the last one. It's gonna be the vanilla one. So when I grew up, there were no multiple flavors. At least not where we usually got these. We used to spend summer at Lake Balaton. My grandfather and my grandparents have a house there. And my grandmother every morning went to the nearby markets, and she always brought fresh stuff. It was either fresh Kürtőskalács or fresh kuglof, or which is kind of like a cake, with nice shape. And they and in most places they only had stuff with vanilla flavors. And when I was a teenager, they started actually doing these. You could buy cinnamon, walnuts, hazelnuts, all these kind of things. And then I think once I saw that they made it into a cone and they put ice cream in it, which was always also like, I've never had that. It was like, wow. So I know here every Christmas some Hungarians come to the Christmas market. Like they drive here and they spend 2 weeks at the Christmas market selling this for a couple of euros each. Which is definitely not the price I would pay for it when I lived in Hungary. I think it's a bit too much, but actually it sells very well here for that price because people here I think have more money. And I also bought multiple times a week from them just to support more Hungarians here. I always brought my colleagues there so we could buy it together, have it for lunch. And I don't know how many years in a row, but I always kept going back. And like the second year, they remembered me. They looked at me and like, "Do you want some palinka? It's a long time we didn't see each other." I have no idea what's their name, or just we just know each other, and it's nice. So, look, it looks pretty nice. Definitely the walnut one is the smallest. Sorry, Lars, but then you will get the bigger. He is the one who wanted the walnut one. So. Where was I? So yeah, they are always very friendly with me, and they immediately offer palinka. That's like a Hungarian thing. You hear another Hungarian abroad, and the first question, do you want some palinka? And it's the homemade stuff, so it's actually strong. Yes, it's revenge. No, I don't want to take any revenge on him. He was yesterday I forgot the dog in the living room and he brought it after me to bed so I could hug it while I fall asleep. So such a good husband, right? But he also likes the dog a lot. He hugs it too. Yes, I'm 29. I still sleep with plushies. So okay, that looks pretty nice. So while this will be baking, I am actually going to clean up here so you guys can test it. In the meantime, I'll show you how it looks. Yes, these are the doggo plush. It's so soft. It's so cozy. So, this is how they look. Okay, it's not the best looking thing. This is definitely the biggest, so I kind of misjudged the first portion. These one are quite decent. We're gonna share this all probably. I will also eat a bit of this. He will also eat a bit of this. So I will definitely try them on stream. So these are going into the oven for 4 minutes. Then I will turn them because if you don't turn them, they're not gonna stay around, and not every side will be actually nicely brown. So it's 180 degrees into the oven. On gas, that's usually number 4, but based on what my sister and I used to do as baking with my parents' place, we baked everything at level 4. Igaz, Évi, amikor anyuéknál sütöttünk, akármire volt írva, mi mindent 4-esen sütöttünk. And now we wait more. So I'm gonna clean up, so you can witness how I clean up, if you want. If not, then, well, you will still do that, so I'm sorry. I hope one day when my sister can visit me, we could do a cooking stream together, because she's a way better cook and baker than I am. She also has a lot more experience. I learned a lot of things from her, so I think it would be a super cool collaboration. It'd be super fun. That would be a Hungarian stream, probably. Okay. I always like to use a metal bowl because this is the one I put in the oven when I'm raising dough in it. I wouldn't put plastic in the oven unless it's like silicone that is meant to be put in the oven, of course. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the next step is scrubbing this because the stuff is getting stuck to it. I can put this back. It says list bloom. This is a multilingual household. We have stuff in English and, well, all the labels. Now that we are used to, of course, what is what, but if somebody comes over and they understand what is in it. So we labeled everything with Dutch and Hungarian. So Évi, én ebbe tartom a lisztet, ebbe a nagyba. Ebbe 2 kiló belefér. Yeah, the other day I was talking flour with my sister about how bugs can go into flour and then contaminate. Is that a good word? Olive oil. I also found this. I'm watching a YouTube channel. I'm watching a YouTube channel called The Royal Chef, Darren Grady, who is an excellent chef. He has a catering company. and he used to work in the Buckingham Palace. So he used to actually cook for the Queen, which is pretty dope. And he said that actually using vanilla paste is better than using vanillin powder or fresh vanillin. It gives a better taste, and I tried it. It has a liquid consistency, but you can see the beans actually being in there, and it's a 1:1 ratio. So if instead of putting vanilla aroma in something, I always put this, and it makes everything so much better. I'll say this in Hungarian too, especially for my sister. Szóval követem YouTube-on a Royal Chefet, Darren Gradit, aki az angol királynőnek főzött évekig, és most egy catering cége van. És ő ajánlotta, hogy vanília aroma, vagy vanília cukor helyett ilyen vanília pasztát használj, ami egy kicsit folyékony, de egy-egy arányban kicserélhető. És benne vannak ugyanúgy a vanília magok, mint hogyha kikapargatnád, és nagyon finomak lesznek tőle a sütemények, úgyhogy meg ezt is elküldöm a Sóginak, és hát, hogyha can you zoom? I have to turn them. So let's see if you will be able to see something here. People stuff around. Okay, Mr. Walnut is definitely falling apart. But the other two are actually looking quite nice. So I'm just turning them a bit around every 4 minutes, so every side is a bit even and they don't get flat on one side. So I just turn them a bit around. I need a cameraman to actually hold it sideways. We are cooking nicely. Maybe next time I will actually put you guys in a drawer. That would work. Okay, back to cleaning. So that vanilla paste is, I think, pretty good. I'll eat this later. Évi, te szoktál tortát sütni? Vagy bármilyen dolgot, amit így keresztbe kell elvágni? Azért kérdezem, mert van még egy dolog, amit megmutatok, ha megtalálom. Van egy ilyenem. Nem tudom, mennyire látszik, talán a kezem előtt. Itt van egy damil. Ezt torta szintezőnek, kéklevelernek hívják. So I have this. There is looks like this. There's a damil here. You can set the height. So you push it together. You can change the height of it. Just by pushing it up. Szóval összenyomod, és be lehet állítani a damilnak a magasságát. És lerakod, és így egyenletesen végig lehet vágni vele a tortát. So you put it down, you set the damil, the string to the good height, and then you can cut through the dough. in the same level. Én ezt használtam már, amikor csináltam tortát, és nagyon jó, hogy egyenletesen tudtam elvárni. Kézzel nem tudom megcsinálni. So I used this before when I made a cake. It's amazing. I also have these that are reusable parchment paper. Ez tulajdonképpen újra használható sütőpapír, szilikonból van, mint a szilikon sütőformán. Sógi mit keresett meg? Melyiket? Yeah, I agree, Rita. It is expensive. I think I imported from England. But you don't need much, so it's enough for a long time. Okay, we have to turn again soon, so before I put this into the sink, I will turn them around once more. They are coming together nicely, so that's actually good. This will be a better angle. Ha! You can actually see what I'm doing. Look at that. So I'm just gonna keep rolling this. Come on. You can see it already went flat on one side, so that's what I want to avoid. Okay. I will have you roll a bit more. I said roll. Yeah, I will wait till they brown a bit. Oh, I'll leave this here. Igen, én piskóta tortát csináltam, és egy ilyen téglatestbe pontosabban csináltam a piskótát, és azt vágtam így 4 részre. De igazából, tehát, hogy ahogy a Rita mondta, hogyha nem olyan kerek tortát sütsz, hanem bármit, ami egy ilyen vastagabb dolog, amit föl kell szeletelni, ahhoz tök jó. Okay, so I will wash this. I'll put this into the one. I just checked there's no name on it, so that was the name of the product. This is why I scrape off the dough beforehand, so I don't have to scrape it off while I'm washing it and making a mess here. Because water is going everywhere. This is a mess to clean, by the way. So it's usually the person who is not baking cleans it, but I'm alone home right now, so. And no, Lars not left because he didn't want it to clean this. He actually is a big help in the kitchen all the time, so. Oh, it's even heavy to just hold it. Yeah. And is Olivier a good chef? Or do you have to break up your engagement because he's not good enough? No. I'm lucky Lars lived many years alone. So he learned how to cook. He also likes to cook. He's willing to try new recipes also on his own, not just by me pushing him or anything like that. Okay. Mindjárt lemosom. I will still clean this, but in 30 seconds we have to actually roll these again. Turn these again, so. Yeah, private chef would be very nice. Okay, I think it's coming along actually pretty nicely. So this is not a disaster baking. It's not as nice colored as I wanted it to be, but it's actually cooking very nicely. So it is also breaking. Okay. We'll see. I will still leave it in at least another 4 minutes and we will see after it. Okay. After 4 more minutes, I'm gonna take them out and see if it's baked or not. Cleaning the surface is important, so your kitchen is always tidy. So it seems like we are getting some kind of Kürtőskalács. It might not be perfect. It might not look beautiful. But if it tastes good, that's all that's important, right? I'm sure the one I made with my sister is much better looking. But that was so many years ago. Yeah. I also like chicken breast, but I like chicken thighs better. Even if you fillet it, it has, I think, a nicer taste, a stronger taste. But the more meat I eat, the more I realize I don't like red meat. I don't like pork, it's too chewy for me. I'm okay with uh, beef, but I mostly just like poultry. I like a lot of turkey. I like. Thank you, Gabor, for contributing. I like duck a lot, but we never make duck at home, so. And to get a good steak, I think I always have to go to a restaurant. Like it's never the same if I make it at home. Okay. Yeah, I understand you, Rita. Look at that clean surface. And we use one more to dry it a bit more off. My trusty Mind tell. I also like this a lot, Avi. Avi, ezt is szeretem. Rárakhatsz fedőt, neki tudsz támasztani főzéskor, vagy csak kanalat, meg ilyesmit, hogy ne legyen piszkos a felület, amin dolgozol. So this is to like put pot lids here while you're cooking, or spoons, dirty stuff, so you don't get your surface dirty. Whew. It's like a full workout doing all this, to be honest. Just two more. But let me to wash these. Oh, I can't see. It's looking better. I think I will maybe do another 2 minutes. Let's look at that. Thirty more seconds. But yeah, even if I don't like something, it doesn't mean I won't cook it for Lars. So if we eat burgers, I always make turkey breast for me and make mince meat patty for him, because that's what he prefers. So okay, I think these actually might be done. I will take this out. You'll examine them. They are not as nicely crispy as I wanted them to be, but that's okay. Let me move the camera. Oops. So actually this is a bit brown. Not on all sides. So it's not as white. I don't know if I turn this off. It doesn't help. So the light above me doesn't help at all. This is nicely browned. This is also very nice. Yeah, because it's always flat. It's not. So the part that's on bottom is always flats out a bit, so it's a bit hexagony. This is very nice. I'm very proud of this. Okay, I will try a piece of this to see this is cooked through or not. This is how it doesn't focus, so I don't know why I'm even trying to show it to you guys. It's very hot. It's good. I think it's good. I'm gonna turn off the oven. So now it's time to make it pretty. So this, I can close the drawer. I put the camera in to see the oven better. Okay, I need a. I have actually a cake turntable. I bought this so I could make cakes and turn them. Okay, it's not that hot. So I'm supposed to be able to just take this down. Let's do this here. Wait. I'll just come around and I take them off. But it's supposed to be able to just come down easily because you put oil under it. Please move. Yeah, it falls apart, but you know what? What's important that it is delicious. It's not the look, it's the taste. I made something edible. So, okay, this is actually moving very nicely. Come on. Yeah, a bit pale, but the dough is already cooked, so I don't want to overcook it or burn it. Oops. Just stay in one piece, please. I will put the pail aside inside, so when I take a picture for Instagram. Thank you, Attila. Thank you very much. You can have a Kürtőskalács if you want for it. Look at that. This is the best looking. Köszönöm szépen, Attila. Nagyon köszönöm. Okay. Yeah, they are not fully grown together, but that's okay. Should I put this upside down, maybe? That's better. Okay, let me clean this a bit. We have a chimney cake. Oh my god. We have a chimney cake. I'll put the camera a bit closer. It doesn't help it focusing. This is just a cheap webcam, so I'm sorry. I'll definitely take a picture. Look at... Don't look at the cleaning products in the background. That's not what's important, but... Look at that. I'm pretty happy. I mean, with a disaster... with a disaster, it started with the first dough. I made one. I got my hands dirty. It tastes good. I'm definitely gonna try the other two now, so I can improve. I will need I have a phone here. I'll take a nice picture for Instagram. I probably put a filter in it so it's browner. It's a bit pale, but it's well cooked through. So I just need a good angle to do this. Maybe I could do a slow motion with the turning. It would be nice if you would like focus. It's very important to Instagram your food. Yeah, that's true, Rita. That is so true. Let's see. Okay. Just couple more pictures. No, that's not a picture. This is important, so you guys can like it on Twitter and YouTube and all the YouTube and Instagram. Okay. I am so happy this didn't turn out to be that big of a disaster. I think even Kevin is happy. Okay, I'm gonna try a bit of the walnut. I'm not gonna eat a lot of it because that's for Lars. He is a walnut. He asked for the walnut one. Mmm. 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 It's good. It's still soft. This is the cinnamon one.